Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Oscar DeLaHoya hits back at critics over Canelo's win this last weekend over Gennady GGG Golovkin. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, we had an epic fight this weekend. Good card, Golden Boy K2. Shout out to them for putting it on. It was a pay-per-view, $85, and the main event definitely was worth it. Canelo Alvarez showed his true grit, came out with a different game plan, beat Gennady Golovkin. Some people are making it controversial. I don't see what all this controversy is. I think this has more to do with disdain for Canelo and also for what happened in the first fight. But that's just my opinion. Oscar DeLaHoya has hit back at the critics. Shout out to Supreme Boxing for posting it. They did a press conference and a press release, and DeLaHoya, he's just kind of responding to some of the negativity he's seen about Canelo being the victor, right? This is what he says in an open letter to fight fans from Oscar DeLaHoya. Dear fight fans, on the night of Saturday, September 15th, fans were set to be treated to what sports should be all about. The two best athletes in the sport squaring off against each other, with the winner earning the title of the best in the business. This kind of an event where an individual can be called the best in any sport is truly rare. Not only did the fight itself deliver all that was promised against all kinds of pressure, Canelo Alvarez gave the performance of his lifetime to secure the unified middleweight championship of the world. Unfairly criticized for not, quote, fighting Mexican enough in the first fight, he kept Gennady Golovkin on his heels all night, taking the action to the, quote, boogeyman of boxing, walking him down and controlling the pace. Repeatedly ravaged for two positive drug tests that showed minor traces of clenbuterol, a common occurrence in Mexico due to the contamination of beef across the country. Canelo submitted to more than 20 drug tests in the lead up to the fight and passed them all with flying colors. Saddled with the judge's card of a year ago that he had nothing to do with, the pressure of millions of fans watching, and what many were describing as a must win to stay relevant, Canelo delivered a near flawless fight. And yet, it wouldn't be boxing if thousands of keyboard warriors weren't talking or tweeting complete nonsense in the hours and days after Canelo began to cement his legacy as an all-time great fighter. Many have told me to ignore the haters, that I'll never win. But while I know I won't convince many of them, allowing them to even partly soil what was a certain fight of the year, a mega event seen by millions of people, and a virtuoso performance by boxing's marquee fighter would be a disservice to the sport I love. So allow me to respond to a few of the more absurd comments. Golden Boy paid the judges to fix the fight. Though I don't think this deserves response, here are the facts. The three judges were chosen by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Given the results of the first fight, Nevada State Athletic Commission was under a lot of scrutiny to come up with the fairest group of judges possible. For the first time I know of, Golden Boy Promotions and Team Triple G were even allowed to approve of a pool of judges. They saw what everyone else did, a close competitive fight, and scored it exactly that way. Golovkin landed more punches and therefore should have won the fight. If landed punches were the difference between winning or losing a boxing match, we would have an incredibly different and less interesting sport. Clean punching, ring generalship, effective aggressiveness, and defense are what the judges are looking for in determining the winner of a round. I'm obviously a promoter, but in the four areas that actually count in judging, I can't find one where Triple G was the victor. Tom Loeffler's statement that he doesn't know if Golovkin can win a decision in Las Vegas. Perhaps Tom is just looking to make Triple G feel better, but regardless, this is maybe the most disappointing comment because it comes from someone who knows the sport. Of course, Triple G can win a decision in Vegas, but 22,000 people aren't going to a crowd into the T-Mobile to watch Golovkin fight and blast out the likes of Dominic Wade, Willie Monroe Jr. or Vanes Matarosen. He's going to need to fight a higher level of competition and then fight better than the opponent. to earn a victory in the mecca of boxing. Boxing is a wonderful sport that has come back thanks to streaming technology and growing international interest, but it is a sport that also faces competition, not only from the outside in the form of other more widely watched leagues, but from inside, where the fractured nature of boxing has made it tougher and tougher for the best to face the best. Just look at the celebrity road to see how special Saturday night was. There, another best in sport athlete, LeBron James, joined Will Smith, Mark Wahlberg, and a huge group of other A-list celebrities to witness something special. While everyone is entitled to his or her opinion, especially in boxing, let's take a moment to appreciate what Canelo and Triple G gave us on Saturday night, work towards doing it much more often for the sake of the sport that we all love. And that's the open letter to fans and whatnot from Oscar De La Hoya. This was a good letter. I don't know if he wrote it himself, but he gets the credit for it. It's supposed to be from him, and I agree with him. I think it was a good fight. It's kind of being overshadowed because you look at it, it's unfortunate. Every single mega fight, it's always, if the person doesn't get knocked the fuck out, they always have a complaint. Mayweather Pacquiao's too boring, and Pacquiao's shoulder, always an excuse. Oh, his shoulder was hurt. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, one guy feels he won and didn't get it. Mayweather, or not Mayweather, but Triple G, Canelo, the first fight, Adelaide Bird scorecard. Second fight, thought it was pretty convincing win for Canelo, and people still try to flip it, based on emotions and, what they feel or what they wanted to happen and listening to other people. Listen, I don't really care. I think Canelo won. And it was a good fight, competitive fight, like De La Hoya is saying in this open letter. But at the end of the day, unless someone's going to do what I do, get on YouTube, show their face live, and break down the fight for all of us, unscripted, get on live so people can ask you questions. Break down the fight and tell us what you saw. If you had Triple G winning, break it down. Go round by round, or, just give us an overall synopsis. Let the fans ask you questions. It really wasn't that controversial. It was a good fight, and people are trying to taint it. People said Canelo looked skinny before the fight, and then now they're saying he was on PEDs. That's how he was able to take Golovkin's best shots. It's like all over the place. Which one is it? Either he looks skinny because he was off PEDs, or you think he's still on it. You can't have it both ways. Great fight. Let's leave it at that. Golovkin lost. And all the bickering, crying, and, oh, look at all the judges at press row. They had it for Golovkin. Who cares? They weren't the paid. They should apply for the Nevada State Athletic Commission credentials so they could be the judge next time. The three opinions that matter were the judges. The judges don't always get it right, but they indicated one had a draw, which you can make an argument, I guess, or some people. I didn't really think it was as close as people are making it to be. It was a good fight, but there's a difference between being good and highly competitive. I thought Golovkin looked kind of tired and rusty. Even legends like Marco Antonio Barrera, great fighters, been through wars, he said Golovkin looked old and tired. The video's on YouTube, and he should consider retirement. That's coming from a legend. So, and he scored the fight for Canelo, as did Andre Ward, as did Charlo brothers, as did Errol Spence and his coach Derek James, as did Juan Manuel Marquez, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., as did Miguel Cotto. So there's a lot of people. So I don't think De La Hoya, I don't always agree with De La Hoya. You guys have heard me when I don't agree with him. But right here, I do agree with what he's saying. People are saying it's a fix, and I told you I made a video about it. It has like 22,000 views or something just yesterday. Tom Loeffler now saying, I don't know if Triple G can win a decision in Vegas. Why'd you agree to the fight? Why'd you chase the money fight with Canelo when you have Sergey Derenchenko you could have fought instead of getting stripped of the IBF? You could have took your belts and rematched Daniel Jacobs before he got tied up with Derenchenko. You could have obliged Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders are fighting in Boston. So why didn't you go, if they lured, if Eddie Hearn and DAZN were able to lure Billy Joe from the UK to come to Boston to fight Demetrius Andrade, surely in a unification, because if he fought Billy Joe Saunders, that would be a unification. So he might not have gotten stripped of the IBF belt. So why didn't you fight Billy Joe Saunders in Boston or New York or wherever for the IBF undisputed? Now Team Golovkin wants to say and use that, like De La Hoya is saying, to make them feel better. Why'd you fight Canelo? Why'd you chase Canelo? Why'd you agree to the judges? Why'd you agree to the ref? Why'd you agree to have the fight and stage it in Las Vegas if you thought that he couldn't get a fair shake. You know, now you want to, you know, cry over spilt milk. It doesn't work like that. So I think the right person won. It was a close fight, no matter who you had. And it is what it is. Losses happen, but it's been in poor taste from Team Golovkin to me to embrace the loss like this. It was a close fight, good fight, but because it didn't go your way in a close fight, you know, people want to scream robbery and walk out without doing the post-fight presser. You know, Golovkin doesn't want to do any personal interviews, one-on-one interviews with YouTubers that he's worked with and stuff in the past because he's upset. You know, it's just you know, you have to find a way to embrace your victories and defeats. Let me know what you guys think of DeLaHoya's open letter. It was definitely pinned well and whatnot. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.